Hi.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to a focus activity on the weather. I'm Michelle, I'm Pakistani, and I'm the teacher at Milano Meravili. And with
Yes.
us, we have,
Hi, I'm Jadene. So I am English. But I'm also a teacher at Milan Meravili. So for everyone who joins us now, introduce yourselves. For everyone who watches us later, because maybe you couldn't watch us right now, hi, and thank you for joining.
okay, let's start off. We're talking about the
Mm.
weather today. So we are going to start with this. Okay,
Okay, here we go. So, weather report. In this focus activity, we will be looking at weather and directions, talking about what the weather's like in, looking at when we use it's and it's not, and also talking about weather related activities. So there are lots of different things that we can look at today. Okay. So to begin, Michelle, do you want to read the screen?
sure. What's the weather like? I think we should start with the question because very often our students get confused with what do you like and what's the weather like or what's Milan like.
Yeah.
When yeah, right. So when you say what do you like, we're asking you what your preference is. In Italian, you would say cosa ti piace, but when we are asking you what is the weather like, it's a different question. We're asking you come il tempo. We're asking you to describe the weather. So don't forget to look out for the auxiliary verb because that makes the difference. What do you like? What does she like? What do they like?
Mm.
Preference. Whereas what is the weather like? What is Milan like? Description. Okay, moving
Okay.
on. Match the image to the expressions. Sunny, foggy, rainy, snowy, cloudy, windy. So before we go forward, Jadine, perhaps we
Mhm.
should discuss these adjectives and figure out what they mean.
Okay, sure. So the first one, sunny. Obviously, I think we both know what the sun is. It's the
Hmm.
very beautiful yellow thing outside that gives us warmth. So if somewhere is sunny, then it's somewhere that has a lot of sun. So I think that Milan today, for example, was sunny. And hello
Mm.
to the person watching. Don't forget, greet us.
You have all our attention. If you have any
Indeed.
questions, please go ahead and ask two qualified English teachers any burning English related questions you might have.
Exactly. Fantastic. Okay. So then, Michelle, what about the second word?
Fog. Ooh, that's a tough one. So the
Hmm.
word foggy comes from the noun fog, and fog is when a thick cloud of tiny water droplets
Okay.
are close to the Earth's surface, right?
Okay.
So we experience this a lot in Milan. Milan gets
Yeah.
very foggy in autumn and in winter as well.
Okay. So when there's lots of water droplets near the ground and it's kind of a white color, if it's foggy, it can be very difficult to see what's in front of you. Actually, cars, when they're driving and it's foggy, have a very bright light setting. And we can call this light the fog light or the fog lights because you need
Mm,
them to see through all the fog. Yeah.
Next up, we have rainy. The adjective is rainy and it comes from the noun rain. I think we all know what rain is. It's when water falls from the sky onto the ground.
Exactly. Perfect. Okay, so snowy then is very similar to rainy, but instead of rain, so instead of water falling, we have snow, which is really, really, really cold water that it has frozen. And often as well, always, we have snowflakes, which are the individual parts of the snow.
So
And
snow is
usually they
that
have very nice patterns.
it's the white stuff that falls on the ground during winter in some
Exactly.
parts of the world.
That's true. That's true. Not everywhere gets snow, but definitely in the north, so at the top of the world, and
Hmm.
also at the very south, at the very bottom, away from the middle.
Okay, so now we've spoken about the middle of the earth, and
Hmm.
just for information purposes, what would we call the middle of the earth?
We call the middle of the earth the equator.
Right, that's a fun word, guys. The middle of the earth, it's called the equator, and it's all the warm countries over there. Like we have the Caribbean islands, we have the Bahamas, all those beautiful sunshine drenched places are at the equator. Okay,
Exactly. So it's always, always warmer near the middle of the earth. Hi. Hello. How are you? Oh, I'm good,
what?
thank you.
We're good. Thank you for joining us. Jim, where are you from?
Yes, and also, which school do you go to? Because today I've had some students from France join me.
That's exciting.
Yes, I know. So we've gone international. We have left Italy, and some of our international students have joined us for the webinars, which is very exciting.
Okay, next up, we have cloud,
Okay,
right? So
so
clouds are the big, fluffy white balls which are floating in the sky.
exactly, filled with water, ready to rain. But for now, they're okay. Sometimes they are white, and this is when
Mhm.
we like them. But sometimes they are grey, and this is when we should be very, very scared.
Okay, and the last one is windy.
Okay, so wind is when air moves very forcefully or very strongly. You get lots of wind, for example, up in the mountains or also by the sea or by the ocean. Lots of wind, so lots of moving air.
Okay, so now let's try to match them now that you guys know what each
Yeah,
adjectives mean. The first one, okay, so this is a bit tricky, right? Because
it's true.
so let's identify all the nouns we see in the picture. So we have a beach,
Okay.
right? Guys, remember the pronunciation is beach. So we have a beach, and on the beach we have some sand,
Okay.
right? And then right next to the sand we have the sea.
Yes. Ah, this one. Yes. So we have the beach, the sand, and the sea.
Mhm.
Okay. Oh, hello from
And
Florence. Excellent.
and above the beach we have the sky
Hmm.
and clouds.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. So if we can see in this picture the
Mhm.
clouds, I don't know if I can see the clouds in any of the other pictures. So
That is true.
I think this one then It's
Mm-hmm.
probably cloudy.
Absolutely fantastic. I think you're right. Yay, we're right.
Okay, because we can see lots of clouds. So we
Mm-hmm.
describe the weather as cloudy. If there's just one cloud, probably I wouldn't say it was cloudy. I'd say that the sky was clear, which means that there are not many clouds. It's very empty in the sky.
That's a really good phrase. The sky is clear. That means there are no clouds in the sky.
So the opposite of cloudy.
Jim,
Okay.
we are from Milano. We're teachers in Milano.
Yes, both of us.
Okay, picture B.
Perfect. So we can see on the floor, it's very white and there's lots of snow. So there's lots of snow on the floor. Um, the sky, I don't know, maybe it looks cloudy, but
Hmm.
it could also be clear. It's not really an issue. So I think the main thing in this picture, if there's a lot of snow, we can say it's snowy.
Snowy.
Okay, perfect. So it doesn't have to be snowing to be snowy then, Michelle?
No, absolutely not. Because imagine it was snowing last night, the night
Okay,
before, and you wake up and it's not snowing anymore, but everything is white. So you could
okay,
say it is snowy, even though it isn't snowing at the moment.
okay. Okay, cool. Good to know. So snowing is for when it's actually happening, and snowy is if there is a lot of snow around. Perfect. So what about for picture C then? What's happening?
There's a girl, and she's standing what looks like rain, and she doesn't have an umbrella.
Oh no. So she's going to get very wet.
I believe she is. So I would
Okay.
say it's rainy.
Okay, perfect. So it's rainy,
Hmm.
which means there's a lot of rain. And also, I guess though rainy and raining can be the same.
But what if you have a rainy day? So it rains for 2 hours in the morning, right? So it rains for 2 hours in the morning, it stops raining for an hour, rains for another 3 days. And we
Okay.
have that kind of weather in Milan. So we would call it
Okay.
a rainy day, even though it isn't raining currently.
Okay. So if it rains generally, we can say it's rainy. The weather is rainy.
Hmm.
Ooh. Okay. So in this picture D, it looks cloudy, but it looks like the clouds are everywhere, not just in the sky. It looks like
Yep.
there's cloud all through the street.
Hmm.
So I think then that this is fog if the clouds are really low down. I think
Hmm.
it's fog, so I think it's foggy. Yes.
Foggy.
Okay, great. Perfect. So we only have two left, and these to me look like the best two pictures. These are the ones I think I would want.
Okay, so
So,
picture E. Let's talk about the noun in picture E. These are called flags, singular flag and plural flags, right? And
okay.
the flags seem to be moving. And when do flags move? Or when there's some wind.
Okay. So excellent. So it is windy.
Hmm.
Perfect. So then that must mean the picture F that it's sunny, but I can't see the sun in the picture, but it looks very warm and the sky looks very clear. So I guess it has to be sunny.
I think you're right. It does make sense. And there doesn't seem to be any sun, but I do feel warm looking at the picture.
Okay, good. So excellent. And I can see that Jim has been answering as well with us. So yes, exactly. So snow and then rainy. Snowy and then rainy. Perfect. So why doesn't everyone watching tell us what the weather is like now where you are? For me, I think it's still sunny outside. So where I am in Milan, it's still sunny.
Mm-hmm. Yep, same here. I can still see the sun. It seems to be a little cold,
Yeah,
but it's not so bad for mid-March.
yeah, it's true. It's definitely getting warmer. Anyway, it's becoming more warm.
Mm-hmm. And I'm so
Okay.
glad we spoke about this word warm because I believe on the next slide we are about to discuss expressions.
Fantastic. Okay, so what's the temperature? So, or we can say, what's the temperature like as well? So,
Hmm.
the temperature is how hot or cold something is. Okay, so
Right.
match the thermometer to the expressions, and this instrument is called a thermometer, and it's what we use to measure how hot or cold something is. Okay, so the expressions that we have, and everyone watching, especially you, Jim, who has already been taking part, please tell us, please try to match the expressions to the thermometers. So we have hot, cold, warm, freezing, boiling, and cool. Okay, so we have quite a range of words, and we both said that at the moment in Milan, it looks sunny, but it's a bit cold or it's only warm. So maybe that will give you a clue about the weather.
Okay, before we start doing that, should we go through these words and explain them to our students in case they're not sure?
Yeah, I think we can.
First up,
So,
we have hot. So, hot is an adjective for when there is high heat. So,
okay,
summers in summers are hot generally.
okay,
Okay. Next, we have cold. Cold is the opposite of hot. It's when you have low temperatures.
okay,
Okay, next we have warm. Warm is what Milan is these days, right? So it's not too cold, it's not too hot.
okay. So
It's
it's in the middle of
it's
hot
in
and
the
cold.
middle. Yeah. Okay, freezing is when it's so cold it drops below 0 degrees. So freezing is, those mornings or those nights when it snows, you can say the
Okay,
temperature is freezing because it's below 0 degrees. And sometimes when we speak, we use this colloquially and we say, I'm freezing.
okay,
Okay, Jim says that it's sunny where he is.
okay.
Fantastic. Okay, then we have boiling. Boiling is the temperature water reaches when it starts to boil. So at 100 degrees. But we also use it to talk about very, very high temperatures. For example, summer in Milano is boiling hot.
Wow, okay. So is
And
boiling and it's freezing can both be colloquial. So I can
mhm,
say I'm boiling if I'm very hot, or
yeah,
I'm freezing if I'm very cold. Okay,
okay. And the last one is cool. So cool and warm are very close. So cool is when it's a little more hot than it's cold, and cool is when it's a little colder than it is hot.
Okay. Okay. So, with
Hmm.
all of this information, can anyone tell us which expressions match these thermometers? So this first thermometer, number one, where the temperature is all the way up to the top. What can this be?
I'm going to go ahead and say this is boiling.
Excellent. So boiling is the most heat, the highest temperature. Okay, so it's very, very hot. So what comes a little bit below or a little bit under boiling? What can we say?
I would say hot, right?
Exactly. So hot is a high temperature. Boiling is the highest temperature. Okay. So then, what
Next
else
up,
do we have?
I believe it should be warm.
Exactly. So warm is like a middle temperature. So probably more like this one, but we can also use it if something is closer to hot. So if it's closer to cold, what would we say?
We would say cool.
Okay, perfect. So warm is in the middle or a bit higher, and a bit lower, we can say the weather is cool. Fantastic. So then after cool, we have in these low temperatures, what do you think, Michelle?
I think the first one should be cold, and the one after that should be freezing.
Fantastic. Okay, so just before we move on then, Michelle, where is the hottest place you've ever been and where is the coldest place you've ever been?
Oh, that's a good question. I think the hottest place would have to be Dubai. It gets
Okay.
really hot out there, and I was there in May, and that is
Ooh,
it's supposed to be spring, but Dubai doesn't really have a spring because it's the
wow.
desert.
But
Um,
yeah, Dubai is very close to the equator, isn't it?
yes, it is.
Ah, so we were saying it gets very hot there.
It
Cool.
does get very hot, and I think the coldest place I've been to is Sicily in the
Really?
winter. In the because they have a fair number of hills there, and the little towns on the hills get really cold in
Wow.
winter,
How cold do they get?
like -4.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
I didn't know that either until I went
Ah,
there in the winter,
oh no. I
and it
bet
was
you brought your sunglasses, you brought your like small tops.
no.
Wow.
I'm always cold, and I had been warned
Oh
that it would be
no.
cold. So I did take a couple of extra jackets, but I still was not prepared for how cold it gets because
Wow.
of the wind and yeah, that was pretty cold.
Okay, good to know. So everyone else watching as well, tell us of a time when you have been hot or boiling, and tell us about a time when you have been really cold or freezing.
Okay, what about you, Jadine? Where is the hottest place you've been, and where is the coldest place you've been?
The hottest place I've been, maybe I remember Turkey being quite
Mm.
hot, but I think we came in the middle of a heat wave.
Ooh.
So a yeah, so a heat wave is a period of time where it's just really unusually hot of extreme heat. So it's not always unusual, but generally it's not expected. So it was very, very hot. Um, and the coldest place I've been was Iceland, actually. No. And that was also by chance. They were having extremely cold weather for Iceland.
For
So
Iceland.
yeah, they were having, so they call it freak something. So like a freak heat wave
Hmm.
or a freak storm. If you describe weather as freak something, it means really unexpected, unusual. So Iceland is already very cold and they were experiencing extra cold or extreme cold weather. So there was lots of snow everywhere, really thick snow, and yeah, it was crazy, crazy, crazy.
Wow, that's that's. Did you happen to see the aurora borealis while you were there?
No, unfortunately not. I wish that I did, but I'll have to try and come back another time. But to see the aurora borealis or the northern lights,
Hmm.
the sky has to be really, really clear. So if the weather is bad, so bad weather can be lots of clouds or lots of snow and rain, then the sky isn't clear. And yeah, it's really, really hard to see.
Oh, that's too bad. Um,
Yeah.
in our previous slide, we spoke about hot and cold and warm and cool. And
Hmm.
I just realized that we could also describe people in the same way, right?
Oh, it's true. But what do you mean? Tell
For
me.
example, if I said Jadene is a hot girl, I would mean Jadene is an attractive girl,
Ah, I
right?
see. That's true. But what about if you said Jadine is a warm girl? Does that mean I'm not very attractive? What does it mean?
I believe that would mean that you're a friendly person.
Okay. Okay. So someone can be hot or warm. And what about if they are cold?
Ooh, an unfriendly person. Someone is
Okay.
cold, they're not interested in being your friend.
Okay. Okay. That's really cool. That's really good to know.
Oh, and then we have a cool person.
That's true. I say it too much, Fierce. So what is a cool person?
A cool person would be someone who is stylish, someone who's hip, who's unbothered.
Hmm. Yeah, so we can say maybe they are on trend.
Ooh, that's a good one. On trend. What is a trend?
A trend is something that comes in and out of fashion.
Hmm.
So, for example, a trend could be a certain style of hat or just a certain style of something. And someone,
Right.
or it can also be with music, a
Hmm.
certain type of music that's popular or sport. So someone who is on trend is very aware and very involved in this type of music or fashion or sports, etc.
Okay, that explains it.
Okay, so what's the weather like? How many adjectives can you pair with each image? Where are the images? Here we go. Oh, sorry. So Jim has a question. It's snowing and snowy. Where?
Yeah.
Grammatically, yes, is correct. But where is it snowing or snowy? In Iceland, it can be snowy,
Possible.
but in Florence, I hope there is no snow.
Yeah, that would be scary.
Exactly. But okay, Jim. So, which of these pictures, which of these words can you match with this picture? What do you think? What kind of weather? What's the weather like in this picture? So we can use all of these words, and we also have boiling, freezing, and warm, don't we?
Ooh, and we have a new word which we haven't encountered before in this
Okay.
lesson, stormy.
Ah, stormy. Okay, so what is stormy?
Kylie Jenner's daughter.
That's probably the more important meaning right now in society. So
So jokes apart, stormy is an adjective. It comes from the noun storm, and
so
oh,
okay.
he's going. Okay, bye.
Bye bye. It was lovely to have you.
Our
Okay,
sole
so
participant.
you were saying a storm?
So a storm is when it rains a lot, and along with rain there is lightning and thunder. So let's talk
Okay.
about lightning. Lightning is the flash of light in the sky when it rains heavily,
Okay.
and thunder is the noise that accompanies it.
Okay. So I think I remember lightning from Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Harry Potter, the scar on his head is in the shape of lightning.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely right.
Hmm. So I always remember it like that. Okay. So what can we say for this picture then? Because I don't think it's very stormy. I can't
Mm.
see any wind or rain or thunder. Well, I can't see thunder, but I can't see lightning.
Okay, so should we talk about the nouns in the picture?
Okay, yeah.
Here we have some sand, we have some sea, we have chairs, and we have palm trees. Oh,
Hmm.
coconut trees. Those are coconut
I think
trees.
palm trees, palm trees. Is there a difference?
Sorry.
Is there a difference between palm trees and coconut trees?
I think there is a slight difference.
Ah, okay.
Um,
I didn't know that.
yeah, they're flowering, but I don't think palm trees have coconuts, right? So they have
Okay.
flowers, but their flowers aren't coconuts. Whereas, um, and I think it's a generic term for trees like coconut trees.
Okay, cool. Cool, cool.
Okay, so we have sand, sea, palm trees, or coconut trees, and chairs,
Okay, nice.
and
So
umbrellas.
that's true, but it's not an umbrella for the rain, is it? It's an umbrella for the sun.
Mm,
Okay.
my
So
umbrella has an extra E.
so yes. So if there's an umbrella for a sun, it means it must be sunny.
Hmm.
Um, and if it's sunny, then probably it's also hot because the sun makes heat.
Right, so I would say it's hot, it's sunny.
Yeah, perfect. So what about for this picture then, which is very different? Wow.
Mm. Well, there seems to be a lot of snow, so I would say
Okay.
it's snowy.
Yes, I'd say it's snowy too. And what about in the sky? What's all that stuff
Mm.
in the sky?
They look like clouds to me.
Yeah, I think so too. So I'd say this picture is cloudy,
Hmm.
snowy, and if there's snow, I'm pretty sure it's cold.
Yep.
Uh, because the cold makes snow. Okay, so for this picture, and I think I know where this is actually. I think this is in the Netherlands.
Yeah, that could be.
Hmm. Okay, so what is the weather like here?
Okay, so I see several clouds in the sky.
Definitely. Okay, so it's definitely cloudy.
It's
Um,
Mhm. Would you say, okay, so it's not stormy, but it does look like it's about to be stormy. So it doesn't seem to be stormy as yet, but it definitely looks like it's about to get stormy. So
Oh,
I
sorry,
would say,
it disappeared.
or
Okay. So you would say stormy. I would say rainy.
mm,
But we'd both definitely say cloudy, and probably it's more cold than warm, but I'm not sure
definitely.
100%.
I think there could be a few, there could be some wind.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, this is a very different picture. So here they're in maybe a
Mm.
park or a forest somewhere with lots of trees. And is it really cloudy?
No, it's not cloudy because cloudy is when it's in the sky, and this is
Okay, yeah,
closer to the ground.
okay,
Therefore, we would say foggy.
okay,
Correct.
sure. Yeah, so if the clouds are closer to the ground, we say it's foggy. And also, I think if it's foggy, so if there's lots of water around on the ground, it's also cold. Um,
Mm.
because otherwise the water wouldn't be able to stay low. It would be heated and go away.
So
So
in this picture, we have trees, we have
yes,
grass, okay,
yes.
which we
And
would
what is
call
this?
erba, a tent.
Okay, okay, excellent. So where people sleep when they want to sleep outside, usually. um,
Have you ever been camping, Jadine?
what's camping?
Ooh, camping. Camping is when you decide to sleep outdoors, and you usually go to a forest or the park.
Okay, and you sleep in a tent?
And you sleep in a tent, and
Yeah.
you cook your food on a fire outside.
Okay. Yes, I have. I have been camping actually. I really like it, but I only really like it when it's warm because when it's cold and you are only in a tent, then it's very difficult to sleep and you can feel freezing.
Uh, I can imagine.
Have you ever been camping?
I have been camping, but every time I've gone camping, it's been freezing. So I cannot
No.
say I'm a fan of camping.
No, no. So you don't like it.
No, not too much.
Okay. So what's happening then in this picture? Because I can't really see the weather.
True, we can't see the weather. This appears to be a tennis match,
Okay.
and people are carrying umbrellas.
Okay.
And when do you carry an umbrella?
When
When it's
it's
raining.
rainy. Yeah, okay. So we can say it's rainy or it's raining.
Hmm. And if we look at what everyone is wearing, people seem to be bundled up in jackets and coats,
Yes.
so and scarves. So I would say that it's cold.
Okay. Okay, so not the best weather for tennis. Okay. And so in our last picture, then, what
Ooh,
is
we
this thing?
um, I don't know. It's not a flag, is it?
No. Actually, I think I do know what it is, but I'm not sure what it's called. But it's something that tells you the direction of the wind or
Mm-hmm.
how windy it is.
Right. So where would you find
So
this?
maybe on a farm?
Right. Or at the beach?
Ah, okay. You can see I'm not very outdoorsy. Yes, because because on a beach, if the wind is going in a direction, then the sea is also going in that direction, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can tell which direction you might be taken away in the water. So if there's no wind, usually this is very flat. But now you can see there is wind. So it's up in the air. So I'd say it's windy.
It's windy. And the sky seems to be clear, so I would say it's windy and sunny.
Okay. So
I
quite
mean, that's
nice.
just a guess. It could be a cold winter's day.
It's true, but I think it looks nice. Okay, so now we have a compass. What is a compass?
A compass. A compass is an instrument which tells you your direction. So it'll tell you where north is, where south is, where east is,
Okay,
etc.
okay, excellent. So here we have the four different directions, east, south, north, and west. And there are places missing on this compass, but there are some other directions. So northwest, northeast, southeast, and southwest. So I think we might be able to figure out where to put these directions.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So
what would
let's start.
you? Yep.
Yep. So let's start with A.
Okay.
Okay, I believe A should be north.
Yes, because it's in between northwest and northeast. So,
Mm-hmm.
yes,
Which
exactly. So north.
perfect, which means B would be east because it's in between southeast and northeast.
Excellent. So then C has to be south because it's in
Mm-hmm.
between southeast and southwest. And so the last one has to be west. Okay. So for example, then, if north is always in this direction, Milan is in the north of Italy. Michelle?
Yep. So what is the weather like? So sorry. What
No, it's
is the
okay.
weather like where you're from?
Where I'm from, so I'm from London, which is in the south of the UK, but
Mm-hmm.
the UK is in the north of the world, so it's quite cold all the time. In summer, it's warm, but it's not really very hot. What about you? What is the weather like where you are from?
I'm from Karachi in Pakistan. It's in the south of the country, so we don't really have many seasons. It's
Okay.
usually really hot and dry. So the climate is hot and dry, but it's about 15 minutes away from the ocean. So sometimes it can get really windy from the wind coming in from the sea.
Okay, lovely, lovely. Good to hear. So, um, we have about 5 minutes left, so maybe we can do some of this vocabulary just to end the lesson. So
Hmm.
these are some activities we can do depending on different weather. So we have surfing, camping, skiing, and sunbathing. And we have to match these to these four different pictures.
Okay, so picture A, I'm gonna guess and say it's skiing.
Okay, yes, you are correct.
And
So
remember,
skiing,
guys, the bare infinitive is to ski.
yes, exactly. So to ski, well, usually we say I am going skiing or I will go skiing. And this, as I'm sure many of you have done, um, is when you take skis on your feet and you go down the side of a mountain. It's very fun, but very scary. um, so then in picture B, what's happening here?
Um, I would say the man is surfing.
Perfect. And what is he surfing?
Oh, that's a good one. A surfboard.
Okay, so you use a surfboard to surf. And
The
you
wave.
can, yeah, you can only surf in the sea, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I
Oh,
thought, what is it called when people surf on the snow? Are they still skiing?
no, there's skiboarding, right?
Ah, snowboarding, I think.
Snowboarding, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you can ski or snowboard, or you can surf. And then I think I can see what's happening in this picture because in the weather, I know there's a lot of sun. It
Mm-hmm.
looks really warm, so she must be sunbathing, which is when you take the sun into your skin when you lay underneath the sun and probably get a tan, so your skin becomes darker.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, we discussed this. They are sitting in a tent, so they must have been camping.
Camping. Okay, should we go back to the slide and just quickly review the weather vocabulary we learned? So let's try to describe these pictures using the weather terminology. Perfect.
Okay, cool.
Okay, guys, so this is a quick revision. So we have picture A. The man
Mhm.
is holding an umbrella, which means it is raining. So
Exactly.
the adjective is rainy. Okay?
Perfect. Okay.
Jadene, would you like to do picture B?
Yes. So in the second picture, they're in a
Mm-hmm.
desert. So
Mm-hmm.
there's lots of sand. Um, I would say usually in the desert is very dry because
Mm-hmm.
it's so hot and there isn't any rain. So we can say it's really hot and it's not very rainy or it isn't
Mm.
rainy. And what
Okay,
about this picture C?
we've seen this picture before and we've said that it is cloudy.
Okay, yes. So lots of clouds, and behind the clouds, maybe there's some sun. I hope so. And in the final picture,
Mm-hmm. Here we
what
have
can
picture
you
D.
see?
This man seems to be sitting on a mountaintop of some sort.
Yes, very brave.
So I'm going to go ahead and imagine that it's cold.
Yeah, I think so. I think if you can see all the snow in the distance, it's probably quite cold.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool, cool. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, just again, a quick review. We went over the directions, so we have north at the top, south at the bottom, east and west, and we said in the middle of the world, it's called the equator. We also learned some really lovely vocabulary about describing different types of weather, as well as vocabulary for describing the temperature. So the weather is what it's like in the sky, and the temperature is how hot or cold it is.
And we also use the temperature phrases to describe people. Remember, cool is someone who is on trend. Fashionable, warm, friendly, cold, unfriendly, and hot, attractive.
Okay, excellent. So, unless there are any questions, which I don't think from our one viewer there will be, but thank you for watching. For anyone who watches later, I hope that it's been useful to you, and I hope that you can use some of this language to describe where you are.
Thank you for joining us. And if you are interested, you can find us on our Facebook group, SOS My S English. If you have a
Yeah.
question, you can write to us, and one of the teachers will get back to you ASAP. Um, and if you want to watch another focus, there's another one on in 10 minutes.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye.